Hello, everyone. Luca Blight here, and so Survivor Series, that happened. so, um, to go ahead and fill you guys in, I didn't get to watch the women's match, and I didn't get to watch the IC match because I didn't realize that it started at 7. I started watching at 8 once the tag team match was rolling in, so I missed the women's match, but when I saw who the final 3 were, I was like, you know what? I'm okay with this because it came down to Becky, Bayley, and Charlotte. And WWE, for some reason, has no love for Sasha Banks, but I'm assuming it has to do with the fact that she's a spot monkey, if you will. She likes to do those risky type spots. So I don't like it. I don't like the way they're treating her. I hate it because she is really good in the ring. She's one of the best that they've got, but they're kind of treating her pretty poorly, especially with how Hell in the Cell went. That match I liked. I didn't like the finish though, and it has nothing to do with Charlotte. It has nothing to do with Sasha. Vince blamed Sasha for that finish botching. I'm like, you're the one that said, "Hey, do this." So Vince can fuck off right there because they both did the best that they could. And, kudos to both of them. I know a lot of people have their grievances about Charlotte, and some people have their grievances about Sasha, but they both did well. They both really did well. And I'm not the biggest Charlotte fan in the world. I was big on her in NXT, but once she went up to the main roster, I kind of felt like she's not really Charlotte anymore. She's just Ric Flair's daughter. You get what I mean? She's less of herself, more of Ric Flair's daughter. And I feel like that's doing a disservice to her. I'm actually angry for her, not angry at her because of that. But I missed the match. I'll probably go back and rewatch it just to see like how things went down. But once I know like what's all happened, it's like, I want to. But I like Becky. I like Alexa. I like Charlotte to a degree, and I like Bayley. I even like Naomi. I'm glad they changed up Naomi a bit because what was going with her and Tamina, I was like, this ain't working. And WWE gave you the impression, and it ain't working. The IC, I thought it was a very strange thing with the IC to have The Miz beat Dolph Ziggler the Monday Night Raw or the SmackDown before the pay-per-view. I thought that was just strange. And it made me care less about the match itself. So I was like, all right, well, I definitely don't want to see it. Like, Ziggler versus Zayn, there's something there. Miz versus Zayn, what the fuck do I care about that? Chances are the Miz is going to win because they just put the belt on the motherfucker. I mean, you telegraphed that finish. And once I looked on Wikipedia, lo and behold, who won? The Miz. And he won by shenanigans. As, I'm not mad that he won. I'm just like, that was kind of stupid. Like, what was the point of Dolph Ziggler winning that match before? I mean, they built it up so well that you could have given him at least a decent reign. I know he's won the belt before, but that was just weird. It was a very strange move to me that I don't understand why it went that way. The tag team versus tag team match. I didn't give a fucking fiddle about that match. I didn't care, and I still don't care. Cesaro and Sheamus looked good in it, which I was okay with. I wanted them to have some kind of spotlight in some degree because they're the hottest tag team on Raw right now, and the New Day getting eliminated early on. As surprising as that was, I'm glad it happened because I'm over the New Day. I really am. I have no lost love for the 3 guys. Well, Xavier Woods, I don't give too much shit about, but Kofi Kingston and Big E, I like the 2 of them, and I want Big E to have a nice, solid solo run once the New Day finishes up, if that ever fucking happens. Sometime this year, or well, not this year, but sometime in the next year and a half, or some such shit, but Team Raw won that, and Team Raw also won the women's division. So, in my mind, I was like, all right, Team SmackDown's probably going to win the big one, which they did. They didn't win how I thought they would win, though. Or not necessarily how I thought they would have, but I thought that it should have gone a certain way, and it did go that way. I didn't think it would, but it did, and that is the Wyatt family, well, namely Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, being the top guys in that match. Because they were the 2 survivors, and that's kind of a weird trend with this whole thing is you had 2 survivors. For the women's one, you had Charlotte and Bayley. For the for the tag team one, you had to have 2. That was a gimme, and it was Sheamus and Cesaro. And then in this one, it was Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt with assistance from Luke Harper. But there was a lot of shenanigans that ensued in this match. A lot of good shenanigans. Not like, well, this is kind of, this was full of fuckery. It was, but not the wrong kind. It all made sense once everything boiled down and came to it. Everybody came out looking somewhat strong, except for Dean Ambrose, who got eliminated first for some fucking reason. And yeah, Kevin Owens with that Universal belt, he's just a fucking footnote. That's all he is. And I'm sad to say, I don't dislike Kevin Owens. I just dislike this Universal Championship. I hate this fucking championship lottery that we have had over the past couple of months. But there's just too many fucking belts. That's all there is to it. I think the main belt should be contested between the two brands, and whoever has a champion is typically going to be looked at as the better brand, or at least for the sake of the fact that they have the championship. And you can have the U.S. and Intercontinental be the respective brand championships, and each brand has its own tag championship, and I guess each brand has its own women's division. That's fine. Which, actually, yeah, I'm okay with the women's division, especially because I felt like when they did the first brand extension, all the women on, almost Freudian slip there. The women's division on SmackDown was meaningless because there was really, they could build good rivalries, but they just didn't. Like, a lot of the women in that point in time were just props. They were just there, and that was a disservice to them. Well, some of them. The ones that had actual talent, it was a disservice to them. But, it is what it is. So there's all these belts running around and shit's happening. But with the Universal title, I think they wanted Finn Balor to have a decent run with it. But because he got injured, they gave it to Kevin Owens. Which I'm okay with Kevin Owens being a big guy. No pun intended. For him being, the top Raw guy, at least for the moment. Him and Jericho doing their shtick. It works. And I like the whole list thing. I think that works too. But, I don't know. The whole belt thing, it's like, there's too many belts. So it may just be a matter of time for me to settle into it, to accept, or not accept it, but just to be like, okay, yeah, you know what? Maybe they'll make something of the belts. Maybe Kevin Owens will do something with the belt. Or the belt will go over through the guys that possess it. And AJ Styles is your World Heavyweight Champion. That was good. That was a good move. I'm glad he's the World Heavyweight Champion. I think he should stay such, at least until the Royal Rumble. Where presumably I think The Undertaker's going to take it from him and lose it to somebody at WrestleMania, but we will see. As for who he would lose it to at WrestleMania, I don't know. Maybe Randy Orton? Maybe? Orton's up there in the potential contenders for the thing, or for his WrestleMania opponent. If not Orton, I don't think Bray Wyatt would work. Dean Ambrose, no. There's... Brock Lesnar wouldn't work again. Goldberg, no. I don't know who I would put Undertaker up against. Orton, he's there. They had a match before, and of course Orton lost, but, the rematch of the century, it's like Orton's finally gained all the experience he needs, and he can overcome the final boss of the game that he's playing. With Bray Wyatt's blessing, and Bray Wyatt has his revenge, and he can laugh maniacally, but I don't want Bray Wyatt playing second fiddle to Randy Orton. I want Randy Orton to be like, I'm not even sure what they're doing with Orton, because him turning heel, I kind of thought it works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm just curious as to where they're going with this angle, because Luke Harper isn't big on Orton being part of the Wyatt family, so I just got a ding on Facebook for The Walking Dead, so I had to juggle the two. But yeah, the match between the champions, between like AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I guess it is like the top 5 guys versus the top 5 guys, even though Braun Strowman isn't really a top guy. And Baron Corbin, who gives a fuck about him? Oh yeah, that's right. Speaking of Baron Corbin, there was the Cruiserweight Championship match, which the match itself was okay. And I feel like Brian Kendrick had a good promo, but a good lead-up promo to the match. I felt like his little promo was good. Kalisto didn't have one, but again, we don't really need Kalisto to speak. We just need him to fly and do flips and kicks and stuff. I think that's all he really does. I like Kalisto, but I'm not too big on him. I guess I'm more so apathetic to him, really, but the match itself was okay. I thought Baron Corbin jumping in the middle of things was a bit strange, even though him and Kalisto apparently have their beef. I guess I haven't been paying attention, but yeah, that happened. I was like, what the fuck's Baron Corbin doing here? I thought he was injured. Well, that's why he couldn't be in the SmackDown match, but whatever. Or not the SmackDown match, but the SmackDown team. He was originally part of it, but he got injured or whatever happened to him, and Shane McMahon jumped in and was like, all right, I'll step up. I'm like, oh, great. Another spot monkey. Joy. And yeah, Shane had his spot, and then he was done, pretty much. But you had a Shield moment where Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose kind of worked together. They started beating the fuck out of these security guys that were trying to push Dean Ambrose out of the match. Because by this point, he'd been eliminated, and he started to attack AJ Styles. I'm assuming this must have been something that happened while I was paying attention to The Walking Dead. I'm assuming AJ Styles somehow cost Dean Ambrose, and that's why Dean came back and started beating the shit out of him. Or attempting to anyways. And so that whole thing went down. But it was a good moment, and I liked it. I felt like this match was probably the highlight of the night if we disregard the two individuals up above, which I still don't know what to say to that. So anyways, yeah. All the matches up to this point, barring the Raw team or the tag team Raw versus tag team SmackDown thing, that match was. I thought it was the opener. I was like, for an opener, this is bad. Then I saw that the women's match had opened up. I was like, all right, so this is more of a bathroom break one. But so I can't really say if the women's match was good or not because I didn't watch it. Same with the Intercontinental title match, but again, I didn't care to see that match. So even with Ziggler and Zayn being the initial people, I was like, maybe it'll be good. I mean, chances are it'll be good, but I probably won't care because I don't really care too much about Dolph Ziggler. No. I should say that because I did care about Dolph Ziggler. It's just once he lost the title, I was like, all right, so him winning the title in the first place is kind of meaningless because you just give it back to The Miz. I mean, it was a good moment, I guess, but beyond that, he didn't hold the title for he only held it for shit. Like, not even a month? How many days did he hold it for? Hold on, let me look that up. I got Wikipedia up, don't I? No, I don't. Alrighty then, Wikipedia. How long did he hold that title? Give it a second. Okay. The Miz. That's great. That's not what I want to know. Show. Where is that list at? It's usually it gives a list as to who. All right, so The Miz won it on November 15th. Hold on. Okay, they moved it down to the bottom for some reason. Usually it's at the top. Like, if you actually meant this. All right, let's see. Scrolling down. Holy shit, there's been quite a few. He held the title for 37 days. And that was his 5th reign, and The Miz is now on his 6th, which has now been 4+ days. All right, so, yeah, I thought that was a bit of an odd move again, but anyways, to address the big elephants in the room, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Actually, I need to bring Wikipedia back up because I'm curious as to how long that match lasted. I am so fucking curious. How long did that match last? WWE Survivor Series. Oh, 2015 is still the first one that comes up. Which I don't even think I watched that one. Let's see, how long did that match last? 1 minute and 30 fucking seconds. Oh my god. Oh. 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I think it was Brock Lesnar said he won't even last 2 minutes against me. Alright, so to give you guys, quite literally the rundown of how the match went. They had a stare down. Goldberg hit a spear. Brock Lesnar's like, oh, he's got the spear. Ha ha ha. It's a second spear. And I think you see where this is going. And Paul Heyman's freaking the fuck out. Lesnar's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh my god. And Goldberg's just kind of chuckling and smiling and does the jackhammer. And I'm like, is Brock going to reverse this? And when I see him hit the jackhammer, I'm like, oh shit, he hit the jack. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Whoa, I did not call that. I thought there was going to be at least something between the two of them, but Goldberg quite literally murder fucked Brock Lesnar. Quite possibly worse than he got or then he murder fucked Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Then he murder fucked John Cena at the previous SummerSlam, or The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. I was just like, damn, like. How do you go home and fall asleep after this loss? I know it's scripted. WWE's fake. Yes, I know. But, like, two things crossed my mind. I was like, man, were they really just not that confident in Goldberg being able to, like, have a long, drawn-out, battle with Brock Lesnar? They just said, just do 2 spears and a jackhammer, call it a day, go home, be happy. Keep the record 2-0. Which, I mean, honestly, had Brock Lesnar won this match, I wouldn't have been okay with it. It would have been a terrible call. Because Goldberg should have won this given how everything's built up to this point. That should be the one, I guess, chink in his armor. The one little dent in Brock Lesnar's armor is what it should have been. And that's what it was, and that's what it lived up to be. Again, actually, he got beat a lot worse than he did it 2004, where both of them got booed out of the fucking stadium, and Goldberg, quote-unquote, said, fuck these people. Nope, don't believe me? Look it up. He said that. Him and Lesnar had a stare on it. He says, fuck these people, because they were booing the shit out of the two of them, because they were both on their way out. To be fair to Goldberg, though, he only signed a 1-year contract with WWE at that point in time, so his year was up. He's like, I'm out. Lesnar walked out of the company to pursue a football career that didn't pan out, and then went over to UFC, and here he is again. He's back as a part-timer. So, Brock Lesnar needed this defeat. How do I feel about the match, though? I don't know. I really don't. The right guy went over, I'll say that. It's just, damn. I mean, Lesnar was quite literally just murdered right there. I mean, he was murdered by Goldberg. I just like it just did not, it caught me off guard in a big way. And I'm not like Bruce Blitz or OTRS Central or any of these other like big time wrestling reviewers that really go into the deep stuff. I'm more of just like, let me just give you a summary of what happened, but I'm curious as to see what they're gonna say about this. What will they say about this? Like, what will OTRS Central's opinion actually interests me more than Bruce Blitz. I see Bruce Blitz being like, I see him just being like, hell, I don't even know how he's going to react. I know he's a big Brock Lesnar guy, but I don't know how he feels about Goldberg. I know had this been like, let's say John Cena versus Lesnar, and John Cena just did his, 5 moves of doom in 1. Oh, that rant would have been glorious. I mean, I would have been mad with the dude, but that rant from him would have been something. Although, I wonder if it would have just pushed him so far that he would just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I can't even. Because the James Ellsworth thing pushed him over. And I thought that shit was hilarious. And I think, what's that? There's like this one guy that's always part of his little panels, if you will. And I forget his name. Big G? What the hell is that dude's name? It escapes me. But he was laughing it up too. I was like, yeah, exactly like Bruce, just lighten up a bit. It's funny. It's not like AJ lost the belt or, like legitimate loss to James Ellsworth. He lost to James Ellsworth due to shenanigans. But, I like Bruce. I like his content, and I'm still subscribed to his website. I have been for quite a while now. I don't know how long it's been. At least a year. I think it's been about a year, something like that. But if you're big into wrestling, you should definitely check him out. He's got some really great stuff on his website. Yeah, he doesn't really do much on YouTube anymore because of the whole shenanigans that went on with them. He just felt like it's a headache not worth dealing with, and I don't blame him. I don't. But tell me what you guys thought about Survivor Series 2016. I thought this was I think I was a little skeptical going into this one, but now that I've seen it, I'm like, I had no reason to be skeptical. This was a really good pay-per-view. It was. Again, the only really weak match that I saw, well, actually, I'm like rating like 2/3 of the pay-per-view, but the 2/3 that I saw were really fucking good. And a friend of mine is having a fucking boner over Jesus. she is head over heels for that guy. And I like Jesus too, but I'm not getting into The Walking Dead. I don't want to talk about that too much. So anyway, folks, I've gone on for 20 minutes. And I kind of got my points across. The matches I saw, the tag versus tag match was bleh. It was there. Cruiserweight match, good. Terrible finish, but it was a good match. And I think Kendrick did a really good lead-up promo to that, so kudos to Kendrick for that one. And Kalisto did really well, too. I didn't see too many botches, if any. I don't even think I saw one. So, yeah, they both did well. They were both on their fucking A-game. The Team Raw versus Team SmackDown male division was probably the match of the night for me. And Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar is an anomaly. I don't know what the fuck to say about it. The right guy went over, but that wasn't how I thought that match was going down at all. Like, 3 moves and he's done. 1 minute, 30 seconds later, Brock Lesnar, 1, 2, 3. Adios, bitch. But, yeah, we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw after this whole thing. And I'm curious as to see if they'll keep Goldberg around for maybe up until WrestleMania. Like, have him show up at Royal Rumble, do a match there. And then, or, you know, have a rematch at the Royal... Well, I don't even know if you even want a rematch with this, because, I mean, that was an embarrassing defeat for Lesnar. Like, an embarrassing defeat. But I guess maybe they'll do a rematch at Royal Rumble and have the final match at WrestleMania, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, folks, what did you guys think? Did you like the pay-per-view? Did you hate it? Did you like the fact that Goldberg won and murder fucked Brock Lesnar, or did you hate that fact? Me, I'm still on the fences. Not the finish, but the end result, okay. Goldberg should have won. Yes, he won. The match itself, though, I'm like, oh, what? I mean, that was my favorite. I was like, what? What? Just kind of like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think right now. But anyway, folks, let me know down below what you think. And I am Luca Blight, and I will see you all for whatever video I upload next.